What do you do when you've made enough money that you're just not motivated to make any more? How do you deal with that? That's what I'm gonna answer in today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit, smash, punch the like button so you don't miss any of my new videos.
Hi, I'm Dan Henry. I used to deliver pizza and sell water bottles to pay my rent. Then I discovered entrepreneurship and grew a $20 million online business. Subscribe to my channel and I'll show you how.
All right, so today's question comes from 𝐃𝐚𝐧. Did you ever get to a point where you made lots of money that you weren't motivated for more? Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing. Money is a funny thing because a lot of times people look at money and they say, the money is valuable. This is what I want, the money. I want the money, right? And I've always looked at things like, okay, I don't care about the money. I care about what the money gets you. So if you gave me a magic wand that says you wave this magic wand, you can have anything you want, well, then why would I need money? You know what I mean? So for me, yes, I've gotten to a point where I've made enough money that I wasn't motivated to make more until I needed more. You know what I mean? When I was first coming up, I didn't really know what I wanted. And I was just like primal, right? I was like, eat, sleep, make money. But once I got to a point where I was financially secure and I didn't have to worry about bills or anything like that, well, then it became a matter of, okay, well, now that I'm here, what else do I need beyond the default, beyond the standard of survival? And those were things like, okay, I wanted a nicer house. I wanted a nicer car. And so I went out and I made money and I got those things. And then it was like, I want my parents to have a nice house. I want my mom and my dad to have a better place to live than where they're living. And so I did that. And I want to be able to take care of the health. And like, I just got all brand new dental work done for my mother and, you know, all these things. And then it was like, okay, and this is in no particular order, but I want to experience this thing. And in order to experience this thing, I need X amount of dollars. And this cycle continues until you just run out of stuff to want. You know, like I've got a yacht. The yacht is great. And I don't say, oh, I get a yacht to brag. It's because like my father grew up being a yacht captain. He would deliver yachts from New York all the way down to Florida. And he would tell me these stories all the time. His father used to race yacht. And so like for me, and I know, I get it. Most people probably look at me and they go, he just wanted a yacht to be this rich guy. It's like, no, like there's a backstory behind that. Like my whole family has been nautical and into yachting for years. And I just never got to experience that. Because, you know, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. My father actually, his father was wealthy, but his father spent all of his money on his own medical care because he didn't want to use insurance and let his company know that he was sick. He had throat cancer. And so by the time he died, he spent all of his money and he left my father penniless. So my dad actually did grow up in a rather financially wealthy environment. And then by the time he had me, well before the time he had me, he was basically poor, just middle class. So I always had this thing, I was like, Dad, one day I'll make money and you'll be wealthy again, you know? So that kind of worked out. The yacht thing was because I wanted to experience that because I heard my dad say all these, you know, talk about all these stories and I wanted to experience that. And let me just tell you, jumping on a plane, going to the Bahamas for a few days, seeing the 𝐶𝐚𝐧, petting the pigs, all that is it's incredible. And I remember sitting on that yacht being so grateful, thinking like, this is something that most people will never, ever get to do. They work so hard. They probably put in 40, 50 hours a week at their jobs and they'll never get to experience this. And I get to experience it anytime I want. And I was just profoundly grateful for that. You know, the point here is that eventually you run out of things that the money can get you until you need a new thing. Well, at this point in my life, I'm struggling to think of new things I need. And, you know, it is hard to get motivated to do more. It is hard to get motivated to grow because at the end of the day, yes, I have got to pay my employees. I got to keep things running for them. But if I was just a jerk and I just wanted to like shut everything down, live off my investments, fire everybody in my life,
you're fired.
And in my business, I mean, I could do that, but I don't want to do that because these people who have been with me for so long, I want to continue growing. But at this point for me, it's more about categorical money. So let me give you an example. Like $1, I wish I had $2 here, but a dollar does not equal $1. And this is where I'm at now. Since you asked the question, I'm giving you some insight into where my brain is at right now. $1 is not $1, right? So for instance, if I said to you, here's $1 and it's 100 yards away, you take that dollar and you place it 100 yards away. And then I take this other dollar and I place it a foot away. I say, okay, here's a dollar that is a foot away from you, and here's a dollar that is 100 yards away from you. Which dollar is worth more? Well, I would say the one that's a foot away from me, because I only have to bend over and pick it up. The other dollar, I have to walk 100 yards to get that dollar. So while on the surface, sure, they both might equal a dollar, the amount of work I have to put in to get this dollar is far more than the amount of work I have to do to get this dollar. And so, to me, this dollar is worth more because it requires less effort to obtain. And so for me right now, I'm not trying to make more money. I'm trying to make money easier. I've already been through the grind. I've already been through the thing where, look, a lot of people ask me about the $1 million day. What you don't realize is that we onboarded 34 clients into a high-level mastermind over the next week. It was like the most stressful week of my life. And, I served those people for an entire year. I meet with those people constantly. My soul, my energy dives deep into helping those people. It's a lot of work. And I love what I do. I love it. But at some point, the train runs out of coal. And at some point down the line, you look to the future, say, well, what about in 5 years? What about in 10 years? How do I set something up now that allows me to have even half that money, even a quarter of that money without having to do anything? And so for me right now, my business is still doing extremely well. I'm not trying to hit new numbers every month. I'm chilling where I'm at. I'm fine. But what I'm trying to do is take both my business and my personal life and figure out easier ways to make that money so that each dollar that I make becomes worth more. That could be investments. That could be figuring out better processes of doing things, making things more passive. And as we work through, we slowly say, okay, here's this complicated process that takes all this work to make this much money. How can we simplify it? Less humans, less work, less stress. And that's what I'm focused on now. So for me, it's not about making more money. It's increasing the value of the money I have or the money that I'm attaining by refining the process. But as far as like what I want, I guess if I got some crazy idea in my head of something that I wanted, I could just go make some money and get it. Or something happened and there was an issue with my family or something, all my money was tied up in investments and I needed some quick cash, I already know how to go grind it out and make $1 million if I needed to, whatever, like that. I'm not saying that's easy. It took a decade of hard work and refinement into the craft. But the point here is that if you just care about money and you just think that if you're not motivated, like if you say to yourself, I have enough money, I have all this money, there must be something wrong with me because I'm not motivated to make more. I would say to you, maybe there's something wrong with the people that are making you feel that way, right? Why do we want to make more? Like if there's a good reason to make more, like to provide more jobs or to whatever, that's fine. But if you're just trying to make more so that you can stay relevant, so that you can stay in the conversation and be like, look, I'm making more than this person. Look, that person hit $1 million a month. I'm going to hit $1.2 million a month. That way I look better than all the other gurus and I look awesome. Who cares, man? Like to me, that's like low level thinking. And I was so caught up in that. I don't think there's anything wrong with not being more motivated to make more money, but you should be motivated to self-improve. You should be motivated to create easier processes of doing things, to be able to enjoy the money more, to be able to do greater things with the money. One goal that I have is I want to start a charity because I don't trust charities. Trust me, I know how charities work because I've studied a lot of tax stuff and most of that money don't go to the cause. So one thing that inspired me was my ex-wife got into this thing where she like literally contacted a contractor in South Africa. She paid the contractor $3,000 and the contractor is the well builder. So instead of going through a charity, she went to somebody directly in that country, paid them to build a well. They built the well. They put my son's name on it. And now that well that cost $3,000 brought water to a village of 5,000. Imagine that, $3,000. $3,000 will bring water to 5,000 people. My freaking kitchen table over here was $3,000. And I'm sitting here thinking like, this is a kitchen table. You put food on it, right? Like what the hell? That money could create water for 5,000 people. But if you gave it to a charity, they would only get probably $500, if that, probably like $100. And so for me, one of the things I want to do is I want to start a charity where we lean things out and we directly go to the source and we hire contractors to build wells in Africa and we give water to thousands of people for such a minimal cost without making it this big thing. And maybe I'm completely off on this. Maybe that's too big of a project to chew off, but it's something I'm passionate about. And if I ever get it together and get it all figured out, I might make some videos hitting you guys up to donate. I don't know. But the point is that I'm always trying to, and not me, but I've looked at other people, other successful people, and I pay attention to how they think. And I noticed that the people that are more fulfilled in life aren't the people always chasing the almighty dollar. They're chasing optimization. They're chasing better ways to enjoy. They're chasing better processes. And that's how I view it. So to answer your question, man, I don't think there's anything wrong with not being motivated to make more money, but you should be motivated for something. Issue is not a lack of motivation to make more. The issue is a lack of motivation. So as long as you have a motivation to make something better, to improve something, it does not have to be money, but it has to be something. If you don't have motivation to do anything, that's a subject for a complete other video, which I can cover. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to cover that. I hope this video was helpful for you, or I'm just rambling, which I hope I'm not, because I've recorded literally like 20 of these videos all in the same day. And so if I've rambled in all of these, you guys got 20 videos that are going to suck. Hopefully they don't though. Anyway, love you guys. Hit the subscribe button. See you in the next video.